Okay, so we're looking at our park neutral position switch here. It's bolted to the side of the transmission, and we can see that I have the transmission in a holding fixture on the bench. On the side of the transmission, we have the manual shaft, the shift shaft. This runs through the park neutral position switch, and as it rotates, it changes position inside the switch to let the ECM or TCM know what gear you've selected. We look inside the transmission, we can see what's called a comb, and this, when you shift from park to reverse to drive and such, when you get that detent, the shift lever will basically fall into gear and stay there. This is what helps do that. As the comb rotates, each one of these little detents here causes a stop. You have to move beyond, force it to move beyond that to get it to go. Okay, this is the spring here that allows it to have that shift feeling. So then we look over on this side, and we have the shift linkage. This little rod here connects to the manual valve, and this is the hydraulic control. Excuse me. This is the hydraulic control for the transmission. So as you're shifting between park and reverse and drive, the comb turns, moves the manual valve into and out of the valve body. I'm going to go ahead and put a wrench on the flats here, and we'll rotate it so you guys can see what it does. Here we go to, this is reverse, this is revert, this is neutral, this would be drive, this would be third, this is second, and first. And with each one of those, obviously the manual valve is going farther inside the valve body. This is at its lowest state, so I'll rotate it back out, and we're back in park. Okay, so we're going to test the park position sensor, and if we look, we can see all the terminals inside the connector here. We're looking for terminals 7, 4, 5, 6, and 8. 7 is our ground. 4 is our first switch position. So if we look at the wiring diagram, we have there's the wiring diagram, and then we look at our connector. Remember, when we're looking at our connector, this is going to be backwards because this is the connector on the wiring harness side, so it's going to plug into the sensor. Alright, so I have some adapters that I'm going to plug in here. This is terminal 7. If I can get it on there. That's 7, and then this one down here is 4. Alright, now I'm going to take my test leads. We're going to go, ground is this one, number 7, oops, that one, and then we're going to take the red lead, and we're going to go to number 4. Okay, so we're connected, and I'm going to turn the meter on, and so we have 0.58, 0.59 ohms, and we're in park. That's the detent position for park. And I'm going to grab my wrench as soon as I find it. And I'm going to rotate the manual shaft through the ranges. And we're going to go reverse and note our change. This is neutral. So we got 0.31, 0.30. Okay, this is drive. This would be D3. D2, and L. Okay? So we go back through 2, 3, drive, neutral, reverse, and park. Alright, so we are in terminal 5 now. We're still on 7, which is our ground, but I've moved the lead on the right down 1 terminal. So that is range switch signal A. I'm going to rotate it through the gears. You see our meter's on 0 now. We're in reverse, neutral, drive, D3, D2, and D1. Alright, so I moved the terminals down to terminal 6. Okay, that is range switch C. Let's see. Oops, we're in D1. Alright, so we're in park. Reverse, neutral, D4, D3, D2, and D1. Alright, and now we are in the last range switch. This is signal P, which is terminal 8. So now both test leads are on the same side. Okay, so we're in 7 and 8. And we look at our ohm meter, and we're at 0.33 ohms. And I'll shift it through the gears now. Reverse, neutral, drive, D3, D2, and D1. Okay, and now we're testing the crank circuit on the park neutral position switch. This is the circuit that allows your vehicle to start only when it's in park or neutral. So I've changed the position of the test leads. They're in terminal 1 and terminal 12. They correspond to starter relay coil supply voltage and crank voltage. So you can see we're in park, and it shows 0.25 ohms. Then I'll rotate her shift to reverse. Now we show open circuit, neutral, drive, D3, D2, and D1. So we're not going to start in any gears, but neutral and park. Alright, we're on the last circuit in the park neutral position switch. This is the park neutral position switch signal circuit. So we are on terminals 9 and terminal 11. Okay? 9 and 11 right there. And we're in park. And go to reverse, neutral, drive, third, second, first, and back to park. So another function for the park position switch or park neutral position switch is backup lamp operation. When you shift into reverse, the reverse lights come on. This is the switch that sends a signal that does that. So we are in terminals 10 and 11 right now. That's ignition voltage and backup lamp supply voltage. So if I grab the wrench, we're in park now. We're in park. You can see that we're showing OL on the meter. And now we rotate into or shift into reverse. And now we have continuity. So now our backup lamp should be on.